In this video, we're going to go from this to this. Alright, so I'm going to be replacing the brakes with PowerStop brakes. And go ahead and do the wheel bearings and everything, pads, wheel bearings, and everything for the front wheels. And this is a two-wheel drive. So to get the rotors off, you definitely are getting into the wheel bearing area. So hopefully there's two of each in here. Right here's the PowerStop brake pads. Let's have a quick look at them. Oh, nice. Comes with a hardware kit. That's good news. Okay. And the brake pads, and actually a little diagram of how to apply the lubricant as well. Alright, and then the rotors themselves. And by the way, these are directional. As you can see, this says front passenger side, which oddly enough is the side that I planned on starting on. Okay, so the first thing to do, of course, is take the front wheel off, jack it up, make sure that the emergency brake's on, the wheels are chocked and all that good stuff, and then find a good solid jacking point so you don't mess anything up underneath the truck. Always use a jack stand, and something that I always do is place the wheel up underneath the vehicle too, just in case it falls, it'll at least land on the wheel and tire. And hopefully not me. Good idea to break the lugs loose. So right here's a little dimple. Top cap off. And this one's a 3/4 inch. Oh yeah, something you want to watch out for depending on what kind of wheels you have. You go lay this down on the ground. Depending on your tires, your rim may be extended out as far as the rubber, and when you put it down on the ground, you may scratch the rims. So before you lay it down on the ground, make sure it's going to be the tire that hits, or lay it on the back. Okay, now next we're going to take the caliper off. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off right here, and the lower caliper bolt right here, and then collapse the calipers. I use a C-clamp to do that. If you collapse them real slowly, a lot of times you don't have to worry about bleeding the brake. So we'll see if I'm lucky on that regard. There's caliper bolt, and there's a Torx in. Almost. Okay, so this is a lovely lawnmower out there. Slowly squeeze it back in. You just keep going until they're flush. Pretty much means the clamp won't go any further. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and take the bracket off right here. There's some penetrant oil on there. So my camera angle is not so great here. Here's a photo of the bracket and the 2 bolts that need to be removed. Here's the first bolt, 18. Now then, pop the dust cap off. There should be a little cotter key in there. Pull that out. Take the capsule nut and the regular nut off, and then hopefully it'll come off. Straighten that out a little bit. There we go. Pull that out. I'm gonna put it right here in the dust cap. Okay, now, you to this point, if you don't have like really bad bearings, you might want to roll it. Get an idea of how tight it is, because when you put this nut back on, you don't torque it down to a specific torque. You basically tighten it up so This is tight, but not binding the bearings, okay? See there? Just barely past hand tight. So, and this washer, there we go. I tend to take things off and lay them down in the order I take them out. And, ooh, crappy bearings. These are plastic. Okay, now a little trick if you're going to reuse the bearings that I've seen is put the nut on here. And by the way, this is why you need a brake cleaner. And then you can just take this and pull it, and out comes your old seal and everything. I'm not reusing this rotor, so that didn't really matter to me. I just wanted to try it. Now, on the rotor, the bevel right here, as long as your scratches don't go below that bevel line, you can take them in and get them turned, which is a term for just grinding them down to resurface them. These actually are in pretty decent shape. Normally I would just resurface them. Okay, take the bearing, grease it up real good. Okay, so now that will go in. These already have the race in them, so I don't have to worry about that. And it's just going to fit down just like so, and then you just lightly tap it in. That good and gooey. Okay, next up is what? It's the washer, right? Keep in mind the washer's kind of D-shaped there, so it's got to go in a specific way. And then next, last is the nut. See that right there? That's why I use brake clean. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down a bit. Okay, like right there, way too tight. Back it off just a hair. Okay, spins well. All right, so next, put the castle back on it and align it with one of these holes so the cotter pin can go in. Perfect. Like so. Cotter pin around. Tap that back on. A bit. Put the backing plate back on. And put the brake pads on. One note, if you have to replace these bolts, make sure you don't go any longer than this, because if you do, it'll go straight into the rotor. And then torque them down to 1.1 gigawatts. There's that one. Bottom one. Be careful not to touch the pads with your greasy fingers either. that'll kind of negate everything we've done.
Apply a thin layer of lubricant on the caliper pins, clips, edges of the brake pad mounting tabs, and the back side of the brake pads.
Okay.
Sorry about that for the bad angle again. Need to fire my film crew. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting the lubrication on the pins and replacing the boots. The kit came with new boots.
All right. There's the first pin.
Here I'm putting the two caliper bolts back on. They are Torx head. Be sure not to pinch the boots when putting them back on, that the boots go back over the caliper bolts correctly. It's kind of a pain to get the boots to slide over the caliper bolts and stay there as you're aligning the caliper.
Okay, get that done. Okay, I hope you can see this on the lug nuts right here. It shows what to torque them down to, and on this is 100 foot-pounds. So set your wrench for 100. Almost always you should torque bolts, nuts, or whatever down kind of using a star pattern and do it slowly. You know, but I don't know, put them to 75, 80 foot-pounds and then just slowly crank it down to 100. So I'm going to tighten it down a little bit, and then I'm going to let it down and go ahead and torque them. Okay. Hear that click? Always going around at once. Just make sure to miss it. Okay, now just repeat for the other side. Alright, moment of truth, see if we got a bleed or not. First one, probably go to the floor, and then we'll see what happens after that. Yep, to the floor.
And it seems to be fine. So I did not have to bleed the brakes. If you do have to bleed the brakes, start from the furthermost brake. Be right rear, right front, left front.
Here's proper braking procedure. You do 5 aggressive decelerating from 40 to 10, and then 3 moderate from 35 to 5, and then drive slow to cool down your brakes for about 5 minutes. Okay, 40 to 10. $35 to 5. Here comes somebody gonna think I'm nuts. Do each of those 5 times and then just drive normal. Got the new pads on. I did the proper break-in, so here in a minute I will test some 60 to 0 and see what kind of improvement we have, if any. 4.4. 3.6. I knew it'd do it.
There you go. I'm very happy with results from the PowerStops. My worst 60 to 0 time with the PowerStop was as good or better than my best times without them. And got in the mid 3-second range, which my stock brakes would not even touch that no matter what. So I'm very happy with these, and I will most likely put them on my other car as well in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please select like down there and subscribe to my channel. If you didn't like it, well, subscribe to the channel. Maybe you like the next one. Thank you for watching. What's that? Oh, I'm just about done now.